Okay, the holiday travel season is upon us, and consumer advocate John Davidson.
Not the John Davidson, another John Davidson.
John, what are we going to learn?
Hey, John.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What are we going to learn today?
We have so many family members here. No, actually, what we're going to learn today is I'm going to teach you how you can get free airline tickets during the busiest travel season of the year coming up for Thanksgiving.
Free
Yes.
ones.
Price should also be a consideration, but it's not necessarily the most important one. I called Randy the handyman, who's a licensed contractor in my neighborhood. He agreed to drop by and give me an estimate on what it would take to repair some of these loose tiles. Randy, what's the word? Now remember, we're talking labor and materials.
Okay, well, one of the things you have to realize is you have more than just a couple loose tiles. You have, if you hear that, everything's hollow.
Imagine taking your dream vacation and not having to pay a cent for a hotel. I'm John Davidson, the consumer guy, and coming up next, I'll show you how to stay in a house like this for free.
John Davidson is here. What are you going to do?
Well,
He's doing something really serious.
No, Christina and Chuck, this is sort of a serious subject.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about
Serious.
how to protect your children from the potential dangers of airbags.
Yes.
In fact, we have a little tape here. Let's take a look at this tape.
Most people think that an airbag is just a big fluffy pillow.
Right.
Well, it isn't. Those airbags seriously come out at about 200 miles an hour.
Wow.
2,600 pounds of pressure. It's not a fluffy pillow. B, C, E. By the time you've collected everything you think you're supposed to have, you've racked up a hefty bill and you're taking more than 10 pills. So keep your money in your pocket and let's get back to the basics. Which vitamin supplements do you really need? Do we have time for one?
How much time do we have?
Yes, go ahead.
One tip.
tip.
One super huge tip.
Quick.
You get bumped, everybody's in line trying to reschedule their flights, it's going to be hours. Call the 1-800 number at the airline and you'll bypass the line, or call your 1-800 travel agent emergency line.
Yeah.
You won't be waiting in line. You heard it here, folks, first.
Right.
John Davidson, that's why he's on the show.
It's fun, it's easy, and it's popular. So much so that Americans grill out on average 5 times a month. Just think, you could be the envy of your neighborhood with a brand new barbecue grill. Have you ever wanted to go on a dinosaur dig or a Wild West adventure? I'm John Davidson, the consumer guy, and I'll show you why your next exciting family vacation needs to start here.
John Davidson with some travel tips. Hi, John.
All right. Hey, Mike. Hi, Christina.
All right, what you bring
Great
with
to
us
see you guys again.
with you today? Road trips. What do we do?
All right. First of all, you're taking a road trip.
Right.
This is something that that is sort of super secret that AAA doesn't even advertise.
Really?
You can get, this is literally, I did this just the other day, this is literally hundreds of dollars, about $100 worth of tour books for free. Swing set safety is really important to the health of your child. This right here is a typical 5-year-old swing set, just like one that you might have in your own backyard. We've got a swing set safety checklist for you, and we're going to run through it on this particular swing set and see what works and what doesn't. To prevent your child's head from getting stuck in the gaps and spaces on your swing set, make sure that all of them are less than 3.5 inches wide or greater than 10 inches wide.
And joining us now is John Davidson, and not the singer. Let's get that straight
I
right
can
off the
sing,
bat.
though.
Okay, but on another show.
Okay.
That is a really great checklist. I mean, things that I had never even thought about.
Yeah, it really is good. And the thing about it is, most swing sets that people purchase today actually have all of those safety features.
Consumer advocate John Davidson tours a typical home to discover what you can do to cut your bills by 20%.
All right, Sandy, let's start with your hot water heater. First of all, excellent placement. You always want to put the hot water heater closest to where you use the most hot water. That happens to be the kitchen.
That seems to be working okay.
It sure is, Sandy. It's working perfectly, but let's just assume for a moment that you got a drip in your faucet. Did you know that 1 drip per second wastes 48 gallons of water per week, which equals 2,500 gallons of water per year, which means $250 extra on your water bill? Whenever you're cooking and using a pan, make sure that the pan is appropriate to the dish that you're cooking. For example, 2 eggs in a small pan like this is perfect. You don't need a big chicken frying pan to cook 2 eggs. Plus, you don't want to wash it. This is a lot easier to wash. Hot water. We're saving money.
What are the most common types of injuries on bikes?
Well, other than what you said, the occasional bump, scrape, and bruise, the most common types of injuries, the most serious injuries really are head injuries, wrist injuries, broken wrists, knees. Now, instead of reflectors, you can still put some reflectors on the wheels, which we'll look at a little bit later. But the best kind of bike light now are these LED flashers. One last thing, just make sure you keep the wheels tight, the pedals tight, oil your chain, and you are all set.
Home repair can be overwhelming. So how do you know when a job is going to be easy or you should hire an expert? I'm John Davidson, the consumer guy. My surefire formula for figuring it out next.
Now, with everybody traveling in so many flights and you get bumped off your flight, that has to be the most aggravating thing in the world. What do you do?
It is, and I've been there. Chuck, you've probably been there.
Absolutely.
Christina,
Never happened.
Never happened to you. Well, you're lucky.
Because I yell a lot.
You're lucky.
Nobody bumped me off a flight. I yell a lot.
Yeah.
One is an involuntary bumping, where the airline just has overbooked the flight and there just isn't enough space. The other is the voluntary bump, which we'll talk about in a minute, where you give up your ticket.
Yeah, I've done that.
You've done that? I've done that too.
I've negotiated for much money.
That's right. I bet you have too.
Roll. There I am in the laundry room. And what we're doing right there is actually measuring. Oh, there I go, a lot faster there. Now I'm measuring in, writing down the results. And
For shrinkage?
For shrinkage, absolutely. You have to know, we had to kind of do it scientifically to begin with.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. But as far as shrinkage goes, I think you can see it's all about the same. Okay, they all shrunk up a couple of inches in the length and an inch or so in the width. So I think we're equal there. Until next time, I'm John Davidson, the consumer guy.